Hello students, in our previous video we discussed about all kinds of signals that are required for this chapter. Now in this video we will study basic operation on them. That is, if a signal x of t is given, how to plot the signal x of minus 2t plus 4. Let me tell you the basic idea what is happening here. Let me take a signal like this. With respect to t, let the amplitude be 2. Now, if I need to plot x of minus 2t plus 4, without changing the signal, I can plot in this way. That is x of minus 2t plus 4. Here I am directly changing t to minus 2t plus 4. So this will also become minus 2t plus 4. My signal will remain as it is. This is okay, but in axis this thing should not happen. Our axis should be unaltered. So what we should do is, we should convert this thing back to t. So for this, first we should subtract 4 from this. So what will happen if we subtract 4? This will be converted to minus 2 and this will be moved to 0. That is minus 2, 0. Now my time is minus 2t here. Axis is minus 2t. This is minus 2t plus 4. Now it should be divided by 2 here. So what will happen if I divide this by 2? This will become minus 1. This will become 0. This is x of minus 2t plus 4. And the axis will be minus t. Now I should multiply this by minus 1. If I multiply by minus 1, time reversal will happen. That is, signal will be mirror image with respect to y-axis. This will become 1. Now my axis is t again. This is our answer. For any question given, you can proceed in this way. That is, replace t with what is asked in the question. If you do like this, your signal will be unaltered and your axis will also be changed. Now make operations to bring back your axis to t. In that process, you will get your original signal. This is the method you should follow. Next, let us see one by one. First is called as time reversal operation. That is, if a signal x of t is given, x of minus t is called as time reversal. This is nothing but taking a mirror image about y-axis. So if this is u of t, I need to plot u of minus t. I should take mirror image about y-axis. If I take mirror image, the answer will be like this. Similarly, if there is a signal like this, let this be x of t. And I need to plot x of minus t. Simply I should take mirror image. So this will be the answer. This is the time reversal operation. Next is time shifting. Here, if a signal x of t is given, x of t plus or minus k is called as time shifting. If I assume k as positive, x of t minus k is called as right shifting operation. That is, if I perform x of t minus k, my signal will be shifted to the right side. If it is t plus k, it is called as left shifting operation. So let us understand these two. If it is x of t minus k, at first my axis will be changed to t minus k. So to bring this back to the t, we will add plus k to this. If we are adding plus k, the whole signal will be shifted to the right side. That's why this is called as right shifting, and this is left shifting similarly. So here this is my signal u of t. I need to perform the operation u of t minus k. So this should be right shifted by k. In this k is positive. Or I can also tell that my signal is delayed by amount k. So this is also called as delay. Next, a signal u of t is given and I need to plot u of t plus k. Here this is left shift by the amount k. So signal is left shifted by the amount k here. Or I can tell that it is advanced in time by amount t equal to k. So this is also called as advance. Simply remember, minus indicates right shift, plus indicates left shift, and right shift is called as delay, left shift is called as advance. Is this okay? Next is time scaling. If a signal x of t is given, then x of kt is called as time scaling. First let us understand this property in continuous domain. So if I need to plot x of kt, first what will happen? My axis will be changed to kt. Here the signal will be unaltered, but we should again bring this back to the t. So we should divide the whole axis by k. Now what will happen? If this is 1, this is 2, this will become 1 by k, this will become 2 by k, and the axis will remain as t. This will be our answer. So here, if this is x of t, if I need to plot x of kt, my whole time axis will be divided by k, t1 by k, t2 by k. So here I can write two things. If k is greater than 1, my signal width get reduced. This will be reduced. So I can tell this as compression. Next, if k is less than 1, signal will be expanded. So I can tell this as expansion. This is the time scaling. Let us understand the same but in discrete domain. Here you will be having two things. One is decimation, another one is interpolation. So if a signal x of n is given and I need to plot x of kn. If k is greater than 1, then this is called as decimation. In time scaling for discrete domain, what you should remember is samples only exist for integer values of n. This is the important point you should remember. Integer values of n. So if n is 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, the samples will become 0 because only for integer values the sample or signal will exist. Is this okay? Now if k is greater than 1, this is called as decimation. Let me take k is equal to 2. So from here a signal x of n is given. I need to plot x of 2n. So what will happen? First I need to replace the time domain as 2n. my signal will be unaltered, same signal will be there. Next, I should divide the whole axis by 2. Now this will become n. Now the original signal will come. Let us understand the same thing here. This is a signal x of n. I need to plot x of 2n. So, with my signal unaltered, this will be changed to 2n and the time will also be changed to 2n. But we should bring this back to n. So, I should divide the samples or my signal by 2. Is this okay? So, what will happen? 0 by 2 will give rise to 0. 1 by 2 will be 0.5. Similarly, 2 by 2 will be 1. 3 by 2 will be 1.5. 4 by 2 will be 2. Similarly, you will get 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4 and 4.5. So here, now my values of n are changed to 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. But I said that samples only exist for integer values of n. So for n equal to 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 and 4.5, the answer will be 0. My sample only existed n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let me write this. N equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now what will be the signal at n equal to 0? This corresponds to this signal. Next, signal at n equal to 1 corresponds to this signal. Next, signal at n equal to 2 corresponds to this signal. Next, at n equal to 3, this sample will be picked out. Next, n equal to 4 corresponds to this sample. Indirectly what we are doing is, if we need to plot x of 2n, we are picking up multiples of 2. Multiples of 2. So, for n equal to 0, let me write this here. N 2n. So for n equal to 0 in my new signal, for old signal this will be same as 0. To get n equal to 1 in our new signal, in old signal that will be n equal to 2, I mean x of 2. If we need x of 2 here, in old signal this will be x of 4, that is 2 into 2. Similarly, if I need x of 3 here, in old signal it will be x of 6. Is this okay? How you can follow normal method, that is changing the axis first, afterwards performing the operation such that you should bring back this to n. Simple. Next, let us understand the interpolation. That is, if I need to change x of n to x of kn, if k is less than 1, then this is called as interpolation. So let me take k as 1 by 2. Here for xn I need to plot x of n by 2. Let this be x of n by 2. Now what will happen is, with my signal unaltered, my axis will be changed to n by 2. So to bring this back to n, we should multiply the whole axis with 2. So we should perform this thing. Let us understand this here. This is my signal x of n. Now I need to plot x of n by 2. So first I will replace n with n by 2. This will become x of n by 2 and this will become n by 2. If we change the axis, then signal will be unaltered, but axis should not be changed. This should be brought back to n. So I will multiply this by 2. If I multiply, what will happen? This will be 0, this will be changed to 2, this will be changed to 4, and this will become 6, this will be 8, this will be 10, and this will become 12. So let me plot the same things here. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. N equal to 2 corresponds to this sample. Similarly, you can map the other samples too. Now, for n equal to 1, there is no sample here. So the answer will be 0. For n equal to 3, there will be no sample. So it will be 0. Similarly, for n equal to 5, this will be 0. Indirectly, what we are doing is, we are inserting a 0 between two samples. Between 0 and 1, we are inserting a 0. Between 1 and 2, we are inserting a 0. Between 2 and 3, we are inserting a 0. So there is a small property here. That is, if we need to plot x of n by n, here let n be greater than 0. We need to insert n minus 1 zeros between two samples. You can either follow this procedure or you can follow the regular procedure, but I prefer this. Let us understand amplitude scaling. This is very simple. No much logic is required. If a signal x of t is given, a into x of t is called as amplitude scaling. We should multiply the amplitude of x of t with a. See the example. Here the signal is x of t. I need to plot 2 into x of t. Here a is 2. So I should multiply the amplitude with 2. This will become 5 into 2. That is 10. Here except amplitude, nothing will change. Only amplitude changes. This is called as amplitude scaling. Next. If more than one operation is given, which method should we follow? That is, what should be the preference of our operations? If I need to plot x of minus at plus b, what should I do? So here I can proceed in two ways. First is from right to left, second is from left to right. Let us see the first method, that is from right to left. So first we should do time shifting. That is, I need to plot x of t plus b. Time shifting. Next I need to do time scaling. That is, I need to plot x of at plus b. Time scaling by a. This is time shifting by b. Next I need to perform time reversal. That is, I need to plot x of minus at plus b. This is time reversal. Next, let us understand the second method, that is from left to right. But to perform this method, always remember quotient of t should be 1. So here what I should do is, I should take minus a as common here. Minus a into t minus b by a. So in this, first I should perform reversal. If we are going from left to right, the first operation that will appear to us is reversal, that is time reversal. We need to plot x of minus t. After this we should do scaling, time scaling. We should perform x of minus at, time scaling by a. After this you should perform time shifting, that is x of minus a into t minus b by a. Time shifting should be done by amount b by a by p by a. These are the two methods you can follow. The first method is applicable for both continuous and discrete domain, while the second method is only applicable for continuous. You cannot apply this method for discrete domain. And while applying time scaling property for discrete domain, you will face a complication here. That is, if I need to plot minus an by b plus c, by following the property, first you will perform time shifting. After this you should perform time scaling. But in time scaling in discrete domain, you will be having two things. You can either do interpolation or decimation. So according to the property, first you should perform interpolation, and next you should perform decimation. What I am telling is, if I need to plot x of minus an by b plus c, we should follow the method from right to left. That is, first we should plot x of n plus c, which is time shifting. After this, you should perform interpolation first, that is n by b plus c. Interpolation. After this, you should perform decimation, that is an by b plus c. Decimation. And at the end you should perform reversal. So why is this so? What will happen if we perform in reverse manner? That is, what will happen if we first do decimation, next interpolation? So if you do like this, what will happen is our signal will be lost. So take this as a homework. What you should do is take a signal x of n, any signal your wish, and first perform interpolation, that is perform x of n by 4. After this perform decimation, that is do x of 4n by 4. Now the answer should be xn. Now observe these two signals, whether these two signals are same or not. After this, do these same operations in another manner, that is, first perform decimation, do x of 4n. After this, perform interpolation, that is, do x of 4n by 4. Mathematically, this should also be equal to x of n. Now check the both signals, whether these two are same or not. After doing this, you will understand why the order is interpolation and after this decimation. Is this okay? Next, let us solve a question based on today's lecture. A signal xn is given and he is asking us to plot x of minus 3n by 2 minus 4. So first what I should do? I should plot x of n minus 4. I should proceed from right to left. That is, minus indicates right shift. My whole signal will be shifted to right side by n equal to 4. So this will become 4, this will become 5, this will become 6, this will become 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, after this, we should perform interpolation. That is, x of n by 2 minus 4. So here we are performing interpolation. That is, my axis will be changed to n by 2 with my signal unaltered. Next, we should multiply the whole axis with 2 to bring this back to n. That is, at first this will become n by 2. With the signal remaining unaltered, we should multiply this by 2. So the answer will be, this will become 8, 10, 12 and 14. After this, we should perform decimation. That is, x of 3n by 2 minus 4. In decimation, what will happen? With the signal remaining same, my axis will be changed to 3n. So we should divide the whole axis by 3. I mean, with the signal remaining same, this will be changed to 3n. Now I should divide this by 3. So what will happen is, this 8 will become 8 by 3. This will become 10 by 3. This will become 4 and this will become 14 by 3. So 8 by 3 is not an integer, so we will lose this sample. 10 by 3 is also not an integer, so this is also lost. 12 by 3 is an integer, so this will remain, and 14 by 3 is not an integer, so this will also be lost. The only sample we will be getting is at n equal to 4, that is 12 by 3. Next, at the end we should perform reversal operation. That is, x of minus 3n by 2 minus 4. We should take mirror image with respect to y-axis. So this will be your answer. This is the process of performing operations in discrete domain. Next, this is a continuous signal. Let us see how to plot this. First, what I should do is, I will proceed from right to left. I should do time shifting. Here plus indicates left shift. That is, my signal is to be shifted to left side by amount 4. Now this will become minus 6. And this 0 will become 4. I mean minus 4. And this 2 will become minus 2. This will be minus 2. And this 4 will become 0. This will become 0. After this, I should perform time scaling. That is, x of 3t by 2 plus 4. Here what is happening is, with my signal remaining unaltered, time axis will be converted to 3t by 2. So I should multiply this whole axis by 2 by 3. That is, I should multiply this by 2 by 3. What will happen is, minus 6 will be converted into minus 6 into 2 by 3. That is minus 4. And minus 4 will be converted into minus 8 by 3. 2 will be converted into minus 4 by 3. And 0 into 2 by 3, that is 0. So this will be my signal here. Now at the end we should perform time reversal operation, that is x of minus 3t by 2 plus 4. What we should do is we should take a mirror image about y-axis. This is my y-axis, I should take mirror image about this. So the answer will be like this. This will be 0. This is 4 by 3. This is 8 by 3. This is 4. This is the process to be followed if you are starting from right side. Now as a homework, take this as answer and try to plot the signal starting from left side. That is, to start from left side, the quotient of t should be 1, right? So first we should take minus 3 by 2 as common. The signal will be t minus 8 by 3. The first operation you should perform is reversal. That is, you need to plot x of minus t. After this, you should perform scaling, time scaling, x of minus 3t by 2. After this, you should shift the entire signal by amount 8 by 3 to the right side, that is x of minus 3 by 2 into t minus 8 by 3. After performing these operations, now check with the original answer. If your answer is correct, then you are perfect with these operations. Even it is wrong, no need to worry. By practicing more kind of problems, you will become familiar with this. So this is for now. In the next lecture, we will study waveform synthesis.